Dolphins. This is my 21st year. And been around it, seen guys when you play with them till through the years, they're doing TV and radio and, this Alexander Mattison story, and just had a couple of great weeks of practice. And it's just practice against each other. We call that phase one, where you practice 2 weeks against each other and learn the system and kind of fit in, but you want to have good practices and, get a nice first impression with the 90 guys. And, you got a lot of players at every position to start with. And you watch him, and he's been really good. And you go, man, this guy, wow, his runs. And you can't tell every guy, and according who, who's blocking for you and what defense you're playing against. But Alexander Mattison was making a lot of long runs for people that are going out and watching those practices early on. And you're going, man, who is that guy? Man, he's good. And makes a great play in the game. The best play for him, one of the best plays in the game. Makes the catch, almost breaks it for a touchdown, runs the last guy over. He's 220 pounds. He's a little violent and got after it. And actually, man, if anybody got hurt, I would have guessed it was going to be the defender taking him down, because he gave him the big stiff arm and was looking to run him over and stay on his feet. And next thing you know, he goes down and slams, we thought a concussion at the time. Of course, that's a doctor in all of us, because we all like to. And the only difference is I have learned to keep my mouth shut.
We have a lot of experience in that field now. So.
Yeah, but,
you look at the replay, he does fall on his head.
So
there's no question, right?
Yeah, he did. So everybody thought concussion because he was there, but he I go, oh, man, Jimmy, it might be his shoulder. And it looks like a concussion. And, we're all kind of giving our opinion, all trying to be doctors before a doctor even got on the field. And come to find out, man, in there in between is the worst of all. And that's that neck injury, and had emergency surgery, even worse than that, to tell you how bad it is. When somebody says we got to do a surgery right now and take you to a hospital, that's
well, the way he got up too kind of led you to believe it was a concussion, right?
Well,
like they helped him up.
Yeah, that did look like that, but also he just looked like his shoulder. Come to find out, he said it was all he didn't feel right. And, anyway, those doctors got right to it. It sounded pretty serious. And so this is how the old game works. One guy is out for the year, and who knows if he'll play again. He's been around the league for a while. He's not a rookie. So the good news for him, he's going to be okay. And he's made some money in his career. But it gives Ollie Gordon a chance now to move up as the number 3 guy. And I thought they were kind of a running back short, with camp, and you're not going to, Achan's not going to carry the ball a lot. Matter of fact, I saw all I needed to see from Achan. If he doesn't play in the next 2 preseason games, like, the guy's really good. You could see that he's breaking tackles. He's looks faster than everybody is, because he is faster than everybody. But, and now Gordon trying to make a run at getting some Jalen Wright time. And then they sign a couple more guys in Shamklin and Mike Boone last night as well. Just a couple of journeymen at this point, some guys that I call them cup of coffee guys in the league. And they're camp guys. And, if one of them ends up, looking good, but to me, this sounds like they'll try to upgrade this thing. And if they think they need a 4th guy and on the practice squad, they'll be looking to add somebody to their roster, maybe a 4th guy. Don't want to get short at that position. But, man, just a real crummy story. Just we were going, wow, how long you think he'll be out? And we all do this, man. I do it. You know what I'm worst at? It's why we're at this. So the guy that limps off the field after kind of grabbing his knee, and at first he kind of gets up, and then the more he walks, the better he walks. And so how many guys did we have when Cater got up that were at that practice that day? And I was there. And he started walking, and they're going, by the end of the time he got across the field, he was walking pretty much back to normal. Like, you haven't seen ACLs very much, because I did that on Ronnie Brown. We were doing a broadcast. Ronnie Brown made a tackle. He was having a great year. Ronnie Brown, after an interception, had to make a tackle, and he got up. real slow, and he did the same thing. At first, he needed a little help, and then he started walking. By the time he got over to the Dolphin side on the sideline, he was walking and going, it looks pretty good. I think he's okay. Well, later that night, he's out for the year with an ACL. And so is Cater. Kohu also ACL'd it. So you never know with these injuries. And now we got guys getting carted off. By the way, this got to be a record amount of guys been carted off only to find out they could be back in a couple weeks. When you were on that cart before, that thing used to mean, this is a bad one.
Well, Justin Fields kicked that off, right? He was the first one to get carted off.
Yeah.
He got his toe stepped on.
Yeah, right. That's right. And you thought, well, by the way, the guy's crying on TV. They got guys crying on TV that are Jets fans, and why me? And it's not about you, brother. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with him. I always love that. Why me? Why does it happen to my team? And you're like, calm down a little bit, okay? You're not the only one that likes the team. You just happen to be on TV acting like an idiot again, but it's fine. But anyway,
this is the culture, though, man, with all this stuff. There's a lot of doctors on Twitter.
We're all guilty, though, in fairness.
We want the news as quickly as possible.
We do, and we try it. Like, I've seen this before. He's walking pretty good right now. I think it's okay. What's that mean? Like, so the big guy for the Eagles, big, really good offensive lineman, and they got lucky. The difference in the MCL and ACL is huge. Yeah. Tear a little piece and you scope it out, and the guy's out for 3 to 4 weeks. ACL done for a year. Well, done for a football season. These guys are coming back faster and faster. So anyway, yeah, we kind of start with all that stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning. As I will tell you, this is a big 3 days coming up for the Miami Dolphins with the 2 practices. And on top of the 2 practices, obviously, the preseason game on Saturday. Early game, by the way. Again, it's a 1 o'clock start. So first of all, this guy that's coaching is not worried about being anybody's friend. Dan Campbell, he was our coach. Matter of fact, he was our interim head coach for a cup of coffee there. And he said, hey, this team, we went through it here. Remember that going back to about the physical team? He's the guy came in and goes, we got to get more physical, guys. Things are changing starting in practice today. And everybody's like, ooh, man, you can't do that during the season. And, these guys are already banged up. And he goes, oh, hell no, it ain't working the way. That's why you lost your coach. I want to show them. And so Dan Campbell has turned the lines, got them believing. They were the lovable losers for a long time. Remember that? 30 years. They had the longest streak for a long, long time of being that team that didn't win a playoff game. That belonged to them. And then Dan Campbell, general manager, did a great job of bringing in some good players, made some good trades, and kind of quickly got their act together, right? And it's going to be physical. So, whatever you thought of Ben Johnson, and of course he was with Dan Campbell as a coordinator, and he's trying to do the same thing in Chicago, and we got to be Chicago tough, and we got to play like the old Chicago Bears and make those guys proud and all that stuff. So they tried to get physical and, chippy and everything else in their few days that they're with the Dolphins. And that thing just went up a whole bunch now that you're playing the Lions. I don't know where you rank teams in your mind as far as who the most physical teams are, but you put those Lions right up there at the top of that list. And so it's going to be great work. I mean, this is exactly what they need. 3 weeks, a little more than 3 weeks from the start of the season. And they decide, Mike could have had 1 practice with them, decided to go 1-2-1 and have 1 with Jacksonville, 1 last week with Chicago. You're going to have 2 with the best team by far of the 3, the Detroit Lions, who are trying to get over the hump, and they've had some disappointment, right? Really good teams and losing the playoffs, and we're in great shape to get to a Super Bowl 2 years ago, and Dan Campbell got a little too aggressive on a lead instead of kicking a field goal. Everybody knows, decided to go for it, but they won some games, man, and they got a whole different mindset. This is exactly what the Dolphins need to see. Physically, the work they're going to get on both sides of the football, and so I'm looking forward to that, and I don't care what anybody says. The Miami Dolphins, if you saw the first preseason game, there's a lot of guys somewhere between those 2s and 3s and rotation players and a few guys that might have to start. They're going to play in this game on Saturday that need to work because it's the only live work you get. And I don't care, and I know the other side of this. The other side of this is what happened to Alexander Mattison. Guys are going to get hurt. Oh, you just can't. You can't play worrying about getting hurt every day. And for those guys you are concerned about, and I get it, and I know who they are. There's an article, and I'm not promoting the article today, but if you get a chance, it's interesting. I found it interesting. Woody, I don't know if you had a chance to see the front of the ESPN website, but they have future power rankings. Louis Riddick is one of the guys that put it together. It's future as in it's set up for the teams that are in the best shape for the next 3 years. And they had 4 categories. Quarterback, which I get, that's the most important position. Roster makeup right now, meaning how many young talented players do you have that should be around at least 3 years. Front office, obviously, because they do all the work. And coaching. They had the Dolphins ranked 24th. And good young players. They had good young players. And concerns with injury, guys, was part of the theme for the Dolphins. You probably could guess the 3 guys, Chubb, Jalen Ramsey, and Tua. And those guys all staying healthy, which has been a problem for all 3 of them. And I don't know how much we're going to see those 3 guys in the preseason, in the games, the 2 preseason games that are remaining. But I just thought it was interesting if you get a chance. The Eagles were number 1, by the way. The Ravens were number 2. Kansas City was 3, and Buffalo
Basically
was 4.
like today's power ranking.
Yes,
right?
it does. It's a good call. It does.
Pretty similar, but I don't know. I think the Dolphins, like if this doesn't go well, I think the roster's going to look dramatically different next year anyway. So,
well, they got to keep going with what they've done. So we were a little late to the party putting this the draft, going back to the draft stuff, but man, I just think you can't. And they did, and it was called going for it and desperate to go for it and try to speed the process up, going through trades and giving up lots of picks, lots of high picks, and they did. And it made us better, but it didn't get us to where the goal was. It made us better, don't get me wrong, but we were far away from 5 wins, getting up there in 11 wins and all that, but it didn't get you to where you wanted to get to, and that's win a playoff game and get in the playoffs and win the division. It didn't work that way. So now the Dolphins using draft picks, a lot of them last year and again this year, who are going to have to play, man. You're going to see a lot of those guys. Matter of fact, if you watch the game, you saw a lot of the rookies, and this is not anything that should surprise anybody, but our rookie draft picks played a lot in that game. I don't know if you saw the snap count. By the way, don't pay attention to snap count. A lot of our writers do. But, I mean, you can notice like, oh, man, this guy's playing a lot. And when I was saying that during the game, it was a lot of the draft picks. Saw Biggers played a lot, and he's been playing really good. And, yeah, they're going to play him a lot because now they're trying to get his ass ready for the opener for more depth on this team, 7th-round defensive tackle. And those 3 defensive tackles, most likely, all 3 of those rookies, 1, 5, and 7 rounds, will all be on this football team. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of the take. But I just got to tell you, and I'm old school, and I don't know, and everybody goes back and forth. And Woody, you brought up some good points the other day. There's really a fine line between making sure your guys are healthy to start the season, because that's the most important thing. You want as many of your best players ready to go, and not necessarily their sharpest, because you're kind of protecting them a little bit and policing their work and what they're doing, so that you get to the opener and you want them, as healthy as can be. And then the problem is a lot of them are going from 0 to 60 because those games are going to be all out. That first game, Colts and Dolphins, is all of a sudden you're in the finals of a race and you're not jogging. And so you have that. You want to there's still a lot of guys that still believe that you still got to work old school and you got to have some physical practices, and that will help you adjust better for the season, and you won't have as many injuries. I don't know how many people still buy that. Shoes was a big believer of it, but again, I'm going back a lot of years on you. So I understand some of this stuff's been outdated. I don't know. The other part of it is what he talks about, and it's so true. Guys are bigger and faster, man. That's just a fact. You can figure things out. I don't need to tell you. Like the guys are a lot bigger now than when I played. A lot bigger. We had 260, 270-pound offensive linemen. That's what our guys were. 275, maybe 280 at most. Kuchenberg and those guys, they weren't, I don't know what Larry Little played at, but a lot of those guys, I mean, now today, look at the lines. Look at the lines. We got 320-pound guards. We got a 300-pound. I see some of the centers are 290, 295. They're usually the lightest guys, the center. And then the tackles are massive. You go to some of these teams, these guys are 6'8", 6'9". They all look like Patrick Paul, to be honest, don't they? Look at the Eagles, two guys. You look, they're huge. And, you know, even the pass rushers on the outside. I mean, the guys, they're bigger. They're not all of them. Now, listen, we had some guys matched up size, but defensive line, Bob Baumhauer is one of the best defensive tackles, and Manny Fernandez, those guys they were elite defensive tackles. They played at 260, 270. Can't do that now. Teams aren't carrying, in a four-man front, some guys will carry a 285 or a 290 defensive tackle, but they also got some big dudes, man. The nose tackles, defensive nose tackles, 330, 340, 350. They're just big guys. They're going, I got a big belly and you cannot move me. You guys double team me all you want. My job is to make sure two of you guys do not push me off the line of scrimmage. Guys are hitting each other. They run faster. They are faster, all that stuff. Bigger and faster. We're going to have more injuries. And then the thing we did have in common, we probably had a lot of concussions back then, but we had smelling salts. We had smelling salts. We came off the field. We were a little dinged up, but we went back in as soon as you could. As soon as you could. Had a little headache and took care of that with a few cold beers after the game. We had it all down. We got to go to break, man. We got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. A lot of NFL news, a lot of stuff going on that we'll get you caught up on. Canes football, man. One name that on a guy that I think's got a chance to be a first-round pick. On an early look at him, he looks the part. How quickly can that one guy catch up? How long will it take him? Can it happen this year or longer? We're going to talk about that a little bit when we come back. But first, before we do anything else, want to take a second this morning to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic. I love talking about it because it works. It works, man. I've been on the program for right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody out there. By the way, Woody, before we get going, I noticed everybody except Dade County back at school. I guess Dade's back in a couple of days here, but all the folks in Broward County, and good to see all the kids. I saw something very funny before I want to find out about Leon's first day. So I was on NBC yesterday watching the news early, and everybody's got extra news shows, and flipped it around, got a little burned out on the ESPN stuff during the day. So I flipped it over, and they were interviewing the kids' first day of school. And the one girl's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be back with my friends." And she played it up. I'm just, I get my new teacher, and I'm just so excited to be back with everybody. And so they asked the friend, she goes, "No, I freaking want to be back home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be back at school." I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, she was just bummed out as hell that she was back. "How's your first day of school?" "I'd rather be home. I was having a great summer." Anyway, how'd Leon do yesterday, first day?
I don't know if he was that excited, but no, he had a great day. He had a good day. It's a big change for him, but he had a good day.
Well, listen, man, you switch counties.
Yeah.
You're used to everything. You probably get where you know all the teachers, and
Yep.
And now you're at so you met the teacher, and you do the walk-in and the whole thing. You get to meet everybody the first day.
My wife's big on that.
Well, you should.
It was in the morning, so I wasn't able to make the meet the teacher thing.
Yeah.
But
we got good reviews.
As long as she's good with it.
Well, honestly, as long as he's good with it and coming home and go, I think I got some new buds, man. Got some guys look like they like sports like I do.
I wasn't exactly the best student growing up, so she liked school a lot, so I let her kind of handle that.
Well, listen,
I don't know about you, but middle school, high school, not exactly my thing.
We were just laughing about this out there, and knowing what a dummy I am. Did you like school? I go, no, I freaking love my summers. I was in sports all summer, and
I know there's some people that love
going to games, and and now all of a sudden school starts, and the dad goes, "Hey, we're not going any more Giant games. We're done. Okay, no more." I'm like, what? What about the weekends, man? Still, we can't see Willie one more time. And they thought I had this. It's so funny. Back, I shouldn't get into this. Back in the old days, I don't know if they still do this. Do they still put the smart kids together in advanced classes? Has that been going on forever? And then they put the dummies, the kids are just sliding through school. They put them.
They still do that. That's a great question. I don't know.
I was with those kids. That's all. I don't want to get into.
Then you ended up at Berkeley. That's pretty impressive.
Well, that I got helped by my physical talent. Yeah. That helped a little bit, Woody. All of a sudden, I look so dumb to a lot of schools. My senior year in high school, like, "Hey, you're a little dumb, but not that dumb. We can we'll take a chance. We'll get you through this thing, man, a little bit." Hey, we've got I was just teasing Woody a little bit. Canes getting set. I see they were number 10, now number 10 in both polls that are out, the AP poll as well as the coaches poll. And you look at the team. The team doesn't look like it looks more balanced. It was obviously really good offensively a year ago, but defensively, it wasn't there, not even close. And matter of fact, as the year went on, it seemed to lose confidence, and it was getting worse and worse. It was, and put an immense amount of pressure on the offense to score basically every time they seemed like they had the ball, right? Their numbers were off the chart. You look back and, at the time you lose a couple games into the year and you go, what the hell happened? And when it's all done, you go, wow, look at the points per game and yards. And, you start talking about having the number one offense in the whole country. You're pretty friggin' good, because there's some teams that are running track meets around the country, and you still, didn't get to where you wanted to. So this team it looks a lot better defensively across the board. Experience, number one. Yes, and you're going to try to fit some guys in there, and it looks like it's deeper. It's got some good backups as well, or some good rotation players. So all those things look really good. And so that's a good news. That's, and it looks to be more of a balanced team. I'll give you a good one that I'm not sure about that we all take for granted. That Borregales kid kicking. We got spoiled. He was really good. really nobody talked about him. And then towards the end of the year, they're going, hey, he might be drafted. And then people are going, he might be the best kicker. And I'm not talking about awards. I think it was in the finalists for the kicking awards and stuff, but he didn't win anything, but he was really good. I mean, that kid was money. He made kicks when he had to and helped you stay in games, win games when you didn't score touchdowns. And they got a kicking competition going on out there right now from a couple of transfer portal guys. So we'll see how it goes. But, hey, you're in a lot of tight games. You need a guy you can count on. And sometimes I'm not just talking about extra points, man. I'm talking about 50-yarders and being able to make kicks when you need them. But I want to get to two names that I'm really, and I said one before, and I do want to get into it, but there's a couple of guys that are young and super talented, and now the question is, how quickly can they catch up? We went out to practice the other day, and one guy was just off the charts. Had an off-the-charts practice. I made some comments to a coach, and they said, hey, listen, yeah, we know how talented he is. This Joshua Moore, this wide receiver. I didn't know much about him. He went to West Broward High School, okay? I'm not saying he's a West Broward kid, but he went to school there, stayed there. A lot of people were surprised he stayed there because he could have gone to any school he wanted, all the big schools in South Florida. Matter of fact, we'll have Larry Bluestein on to talk that on Thursday. But Joshua Moore is we go down, and the first thing I watch him do against a veteran corner is a stutter and go, and ran by him by 4 or 5 yards. As I say, 6'4", 215, 210, 215, and he can run. He's obviously, maturity and all that stuff and learning to do all the things you're supposed to and run the right routes and catch up. It's not just 7-on-7 football or 1-on-1 football but the toughest stuff he's got figured out. How to run routes, how to run by guys, go up and catch the football. He must have had, Woody, the day we were there, 3 or 4 touchdowns on deep plays. He had one of those days. He had one of those practices when we were there. Now, listen, maybe he's had all off practices, but we went out there, and I went, holy smokes, this guy to be doing this. And he's in spring football, so this is not new to him. But this is to be this, have that size and that speed and catch the ball the way he does. And again, I don't know what that's going to mean down the road, but there's no reason if he doesn't develop. That's what a first-round pick looks like. I've seen him come out of that school, Andre Johnson, and I go, wow, in a couple years, that guy's going to be a first-round pick, and he was. Now, it doesn't always work. We've had some other guys come down here and kind of looked the part to start with, and it didn't finish well. The second guy that's going to be really important that needs to make a big, big jump is Justin Scott, the defensive tackle. Looks the part, looks a lot different than when he first got here as a 5-star guy, dominating guys in Illinois, and that football is not the football down here, but he's a big guy. And how quickly can he play at that level? And by the way, he will get as tested in game one as he'll get tested in any game all year against that big Notre Dame offensive line. So those two guys, man, I didn't go Malachi Tony or any of those guys who I think is going to be really good right off the bat. But the upside of a freakish guy like Joshua, I'm dying to see what he looks like and how fast he catches up, how mature can he be to do all the things he's going to be asked to do and block a little bit and help with the running game, when they run to your side and run guys off when you're not getting the ball and not get lazy on your route and run it a little different and start freelance and it gets picked off and that stuff where they can trust you and go, we know he's got the talent. We just got to push it to the next level. And some guys go for it and some guys don't. But I got to tell you, and I don't do this every year. I don't come on this show and talk about one guy that's got freakish talent. He's got freakish talent. And I'm not saying the other young receivers aren't really good, but a couple of things he has, and I don't know, somebody taught him how to run routes already, uh, you know, and some of the things he's doing, and these guys do run coming out of high school. They used to just take off and run, and the best player would catch the ball, or the faster kid would run by the other guy. These guys have a lot more guys are getting coached up in the offseason, running routes better. It's one thing I've really noticed how mature physically these guys are and doing things and setting guys up. So anyway, we got to go to break, man. But that's my teaser of the day. Those two, Woody. Those are my two teasers here of two young guys that you brought in as recruits out of high school. Two highly recruited players, one here in South Florida and one not. And it doesn't take away from anybody else, so don't read into it too much. But Woody, that was literally, and the year before, Trader did the same thing. We walked down the same time, and they ran that drill right next to us, and he ran a post pattern and turned the guy around. And I was like, first, like, who's that? And I go, that's Trader, kid from Chaminade. I go, wow, somebody taught that guy how to run a route, because we need him too, by the way. There's another guy that's got to stay healthy. And you got to stay healthy now. Can't be always banged up, but we're going to need you. All right, we got to go to
that a lot these days.
Hearing that a lot, yeah. Right? That's kind of theme
healthy,
right? Only one thing worse than not playing well when you're healthy, and that's not playing at all. All right, we got to go to break. We'll take a quick one. We'll be right back after this.
Miami.
Buddy out there going back to school for day 2, and I guess Dade County. I'm not sure. Dade County start Wednesday or Thursday. One day this week. Man, I'd love to start school on a Thursday or a Friday. Just get one day and have a couple more off.
Yeah, that's the European in you.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it means you want 3-day weekends.
You want 3 days of school, 4 days off would have been great.
I asked you this yesterday. Don't they do that over there?
I had no idea.
Everything's closed on Monday.
It just looked very touristy to me, Woody. I didn't see a big change where I was. Just looked touristy every day. That's all it did.
You're gonna come back from where you go, Madrid, right? You can come back a big soccer guy.
No, I'm not going to do that because I've been there before. I was, because Real Madrid, a lot of years, is the best team in the world. They have been for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Whoever runs that organization, they obviously have a lot of friggin' money, and they get a lot of good players. Mbappe's the latest one, right? That left Paris and one of the great young players, and they've got him now. So yeah, so I was into it, but not that much. And I always wonder though, when we take the game over there, I guess it's sold out quickly, but I always wonder, like, how many people over there, they love soccer. That's always going to be number one. How much do they really like our game? I always wonder, how much will they like the game? We're going to play where Real Madrid plays. That's going to be kind of fun to see it and see the whole thing. And it's a big stadium.
I'm sure a lot of fans are going.
Well, yeah, we'll have a lot of fans from both Washington fans as well as Miami fans. And I've already talked to some people in my age group that are retired or close to it, taking vacations over there and doing the whole thing to Portugal and Spain and hitting a few of the countries around that area, for a week or two, and put a Miami Dolphin game in there, right? Kind of cool. See your team play on the road. And so that will be part of it later in the year for sure. Man, I got to tell you the news, man. I just, I'm sure everybody saw it yesterday, but one of the running backs who they got from Las Vegas, a veteran player, a bigger running back, 220-pound running back, Alexander Mattison, out for the season. Towards the end of the game, made a real nice play and stayed on his feet after the catch and was trying to score. He was real close. He's about 5-yard line, Woody, five inside the 10 for in there somewhere, and just made a great effort and takes a guy on and literally trying to run him over, and he goes to the ground pretty hard, and he doesn't get up, and so right away, I didn't think anything serious. I thought concussion. Then I was wondering at first, looked like he grabbed his shoulder, and the guys go, no, it's concussion. I go, I don't know, man. It might be he separated his shoulder or dislocated the shoulder. That happens obviously a lot in the league too. Come down hard on your shoulder onto the ground. And so he was there for a few minutes, and he got up and walked off. You go, oh, that's good news. And you hear everybody, and we all give our opinion. Every time we see an injury in person or on TV, we try to figure it out, and so do the announcers. Oh, we're not doctors, and we don't want to go too far on this injury, but it looks like, they're grabbing, they're working on the knee, or he's got a cramp. They're pulling his foot up to get rid of the cramps. So you see some of those things, and then we all play doctor. We all go right into, I've seen this forever. Oh, yeah, and you give your opinion. So, boy, I'll tell you what, nobody had that one right because not only did he have a neck injury, but he had emergency surgery, which is pretty serious stuff when they go, oh, we got to go get this done like right now. He walked off the field. That was the good news. But he's out for the year. And, hey, more importantly than being out for the year is that he's okay. Boy, the last thing we want or the league wants or anybody wants to see is a guy, with a serious injury and can't move off the field and stuff. So, but he was a hell of a player. He looked great first couple weeks, and he was going to be on the team. And the question was, how much was he going to play? And now this slides everybody up, the other part, the business part now. After we wish him only the best, good couple of weeks of work, and now he's out for the year. But the good news is, more importantly than how you play for your team is you're okay with that. You're going to be out for the year, and I don't know if he comes back and plays. He's been in the league for a while. But now it gives more opportunity to some more guys. And so we're really curious to see how that works. And they signed a couple of guys yesterday, I called them a cup of coffee guys, in Shamklin and Mike Boone. They added 2 guys because they're going to need they're going to need bodies to carry. They're going to come in. They're not going to be on the sideline. They're going to be carrying the ball. You're going to wonder who's going to carry the ball in the second half of these games and maybe even 3 quarters. It's going to be those 2 guys. So they will learn the basic plays, running plays, and they'll be playing.
Running back's got to be the easiest position to replace on a team, right?
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys. Yes, yes.
That's not.
I would agree.
Concerning. But.
Now, listen, I don't know. Are they going to be as good as he was? Probably not. But some guys that can come in and run your offense that have been really good players in college or at some point even in the NFL. Yes, there's a whole bunch of those guys. And this goes back to why a lot of people don't pay the running back position, right? Dolphins got to be scared to death. Devon Achane, who's really good.
Well, this is why the preseason sucks.
Well, this is why.
I mean, come on, man.
You don't play your running back. This is why a lot of the running backs don't play in the preseason or very, very much, because those guys, they get tackled every play. Every time they touch the ball, which is a lot, they get tackled. There's also a reason a lot of teams, and I'm not saying, in Baltimore it happens a lot, or I'm not saying it happens a lot in Philadelphia with the 2 best running backs in the game, but there are a lot of teams that like to rotate their running backs, and Achane, is the number 1 guy. He's 5'9", he's 190-something pounds, and he looks great. But you take and you throw in all the catches he has, and they've got to get the next couple guys ready to go. Jalen Wright is number 2 right now. We got to get Jalen Wright going a little bit more. And I always say this, he's got some bad luck. That last run on 4th down was not Jalen Wright's problem. He got hit 4 yards in the backfield, and the guy was not touched. That is not on Jalen Wright, who was just like trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He got tackled and had no chance on that play. But gives you a chance to see Ollie Gordon now. And Ollie Gordon the second, actually, 6th-round pick out of Oklahoma State, who's your biggest and strongest running back you have. And I can't imagine they're not going to get him some carries.
Yeah. Well, you got 3 good guys now, right, in that group, 3 reliable guys.
Yes.
I think you're okay.
Well, no.
And the problem is you got 2 more of these stupid preseason games.
Well, that's why those 2 guys.
So
that's why those 2
guys play any running back.
That's why they're going to play those 2 guys, and they'll play. We've had years where we were bringing guys in and playing them, though. We had guys we were bringing in, and they had to play.
Well, I haven't exactly heard of the guys they brought in.
No. I call them cup of coffee guys.
Yeah.
They've been around the league a little bit. They've had a little bit of playing time last year, and guys that without getting an old guy and trying to get
There's like how many, I don't know, 10 like elite running backs, you would say, maybe, if that. And then the drop off is just very, very significant, right? There's a lot of those just a guy type of players.
There is some really good.
Nobody's ball dominant anymore except for a couple of them, right?
Well, I said Baltimore and Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's it. For the most part.
Those guys.
Maybe the guy in Vegas, I guess they're going to probably run him into the ground.
I'm curious to see. They got curious him way to see.
Up down that fantasy stuff.
Again, he's only going to be as good as that offensive line in this league.
Going to be good, right?
So if they don't,
team's going to struggle. See, that's the problem with, especially fantasy wise. And I know, like ESPN's promoting, they got their big fantasy draft tonight that they're going to put on TV. You see this thing?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got a big fantasy draft on TV. If that's your thing,
a lot of people are into that.
I know.
How much work do you put in before you do fantasy, or they give you they give you a list of all the numbers they had? And
the problem is, and Jamie and I were looking at it yesterday. You look at the top, 20 players.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? It's really kind of a crapshoot, like a luck of the draw type thing, right? Like you could pick Jamar Chase, he gets hurt in the first game, you're cooked. But
so, what position goes first usually? Running back?
Well, it depends how your league scores. Like if you're a PPR league,
So
point per reception. If you're a straight points league, then running backs are a little more valuable. But the problem is, again, there's so few running backs. There's a lot of wide receivers out there that put up good numbers.
You know who's number one on top for me is a guy that's always up there for MVP, and he could have won it last year. Lamar Jackson. He's going to run for 900 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. He may have as many as 10 touchdowns running. He's going to throw between 30 and 40 touchdowns. But that's too early to take him, I guess.
I mean, they had Achane at like the 11th, 12th best player in the whole thing. You buy that? I mean, do you think he's going to be that?
I think Achane, if Achane stays healthy, when he's been pretty durable, he should be 1,400 or 1,500 yards total. Wow. He was balanced last year. What do you have? 6 touchdowns running, 6 pass receiving. He's going to catch a lot of screens. And if you make a mistake, he's going to take it to the house.
Are you sold on Bijan Robinson?
Yeah, he's really good.
Okay, you're sold on him. Okay. Jahmyr Gibbs? He's number 5. He's the 5th ranked player in the whole thing. Christian McCaffrey.
No, I don't.
Christian McCaffrey.
I don't trust him.
48 fantasy points last year. They're projecting that he gets 322 this year.
Yeah.
He's 29.
Scares me. He's had a lot of injuries, man.
You got Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Genti, Achane.
Yeah.
Nico Collins. I mean, this is your top 20.
A lot of tough decisions
Jonathan
to make
Taylor's
here.
In there.
Hey, okay. Who we see in
Josh
week
Jacobs.
1. Hey, Woody, we got right at 7 o'clock this morning.
I'm just rattling off players.
But yeah.
Just to show you that, like, honestly, though, like, out of those players that I named, I throw Derrick Henry in there. Are you, like, totally sold? Do you know, like, for sure any of those guys are going to
I feel pretty good.
I
don't know, but I'm guessing the 2 guys in Baltimore and Philadelphia they're really good players.
Yeah, they are. No one's saying none of these guys are not good players.
Derrick Henry doesn't seem to get hurt, and he has more collisions than anybody, or he's amazing. Physically, a freak, what he has done. I mean, we talk about Hall of Famers, that guy, for what he has done and outrunning guys last year the way he did when he broke through and guys in the secondary couldn't catch him was amazing. 7 o'clock hour, we got a lot of stuff to get to here. Boy, I'm running so late. All right, we got to go to break. We'll get caught up with business right after this.
Sports lives here.
will begin a 3-game series in Cleveland tonight. The first pitch is at 6:40 from Progressive Field. Joe, a lot of stuff going on out there.
Well, you're not kidding, Woody. What a great time. Great time of the year. Couple of events coming up down the road here. I love the Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup. Woody, it's a different event, man. It's, first of all, you're going head-to-head. I know a lot of the Americans are the top-ranked guys right now, but the guys overseas that play, they seem to play a lot of their best golf, and they get ready. This thing's important, man, and the crowds get into it, and the guys, it's such a great event. It ranks right up there. Even if I don't golf anymore, I'm done. The golf, I made my story clear about my golf career. Just I could have taken lessons my whole life, and I would have never been able to crack 100. Seriously. Nothing against you, Mr. McLean. I took your lessons. You were great. I appreciate it. But I sucked. And I bought all the equipment I was told to buy and lessons, and had the camera watching me and then go back and look. I mean, I got real serious about this. Look, man, I want to be – we kind of all picked up the game at the same time and got into it and tried to break some bad habits, and just Charles Barkley, just terrible, just awful. And I gave it up. But I still love watching. God, I love watching. And I love Sundays.
You never get the itch to go back out there?
No, I don't. And that's the good news. And I still love watching on Sunday of guys who play well and guys that continue to not be able to close it out. Guys still cashing big checks, but guys that just can't close it out. But the head-to-head and the different format at the Ryder Cup is just awesome. And getting selected to the team and playing together. And, I love it. Ryder Cup is one of my favorite events, especially now, man, because we're part of Jupiter. We finally have a connection with the radio station 104.3 QAM on FM. If you're not aware of it and you're still hanging with the AM, you don't have to. We love you on 560, don't get me wrong. But you can flip it over and get a much stronger version of us with everything going on. So, hey, I wanted to bring this up. I saw Dave Hyde hit this, and it's so true. Can the national media stop? I'm just taking a little different direction. Why is there still so much talk about Tyreek Hill being traded? I get that teams might be interested if it was going to happen. I mean, I know we've done some crazy things towards the end of the offseason with the trade that was made was a little crazy. And, the timing of it and everything else, it was. But there's nothing that looks like we're trying to get rid of Tyreek Hill. And if we're really trying to win, we need Tyreek Hill. Loved all our young receivers the other day in the preseason game. It was great to see him. A lot of those guys, playing pretty well. It was great and making plays, and Eskridge and the Washingtons, 2 of them. Akine, it was all good. All that stuff was great, man. But none of them are Tyreek Hill. And you've been through a lot with Tyreek Hill, and you're going to finish it out short of him just losing it. And I don't think he will. I don't think he will. And he's out right now, and he's had a very quiet camp for Tyreek Hill. Very quiet every possible way, really. But hasn't had one of those, we've talked about this over and over about how good his first 2 years. I've never seen a guy dominate camp the way he did. Every day he could have got Mike's orange jersey. They could have just put it up and just wear it every day, because he just you go out to watch him practice, and he's running by guys by 8 yards. But he is really important. There's only a couple of guys that have the ability truly to take it 80 yards in any play, or 60 yards or 50, or wherever the line of scrimmage is when you throw him the ball.
I don't want to say there's a 0 chance of things happening, Joe, because we've learned our lesson on that. But there's got to be damn near a 0 chance they move him.
But they still talking. Well, teams are monitoring. Oh, you can monitor. Yeah, you should. You should monitor.
Sudden, after everything that's gone down, you think few weeks into camp, they're just gonna be like, well, that's enough.
Yeah,
we just this is it. We can't take it anymore.
Hey, they're still talking about winning a lot of games and surprising people. Well, it's nothing. And Jalen Waddle with the other group of guys I just named is okay, but you need Tyreek Hill out there. Like, you can not like him, you can be mad at him about everything he said and done, but if you're serious about winning this year, Tyreek Hill, they're going to be talking every time they do a scouting report. They're going to still talk about he's 31 now, but he just ran a pair of 10-100 meters in the offseason. And we don't have any guys here. I checked all you guys and play cornerback, and none of you have ever run a 10-100 meters or can run like he can run. He's always a guy that you have to know where he is, cheat over, and it should just help everything you're doing. Not just help Tyreek Hill make big plays, but it should help all the other guys with matchups and get them the ball. So I just don't understand why, and I don't think it's our local guys. They understand how important Tyreek Hill is.
Well, it's a good clickbait topic, right? I mean,
but they had the guy on TV that I happen to be watching. Of course, I'm always watching. I mean, kids at home.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and they're going, we got an update on Tyreek Hill, and it is. You're right. It's a great tease.
Yeah.
So I wait. I stay around, and they
He's
go coming up Tyreek
player.
Hill, and hey, what's an update? Oh, the update is teams are monitoring. They're just going to be they're going to be watching because they're not moving them. They're going to be watching them like we're watching them. And by the way, if there's a number one job for all the guys with coordinator on their name on that coaching staff, Frank Smith, Slowick, anybody else that's part of that thing, they need to figure a way, and should have been months of sitting there going, how do we get Tyreek Hill the ball and Waddle the ball more? That should be what they're talking about. How do we get those guys the ball down the field? And I listen, I think the running game's really important, and I was screaming the other day, keep running the friggin' ball on goal line and short yardage because it's a good time to work on that. But you didn't pay those guys that amount of money on the outside to make those guys 900 and 700-yard guys in receptions. You didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, things would have to go completely off the rails to start trading away guys like that.
When you decide, yeah.
That'd be throwing in the towel officially, right?
Yeah, that would be like, don't sell me on anything. Like, well, we've seen
it's over.
We've seen all those guys. We've seen all the guys that you have. They're all nice stories. All of them are. Whichever group you're going to keep, whether you drafted them or picked them up, they're nice, but they're not Tyreek Hill. They have nothing in common, and you know it because you know what you're paying them and what you pay him. You've made your own decision for us. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. I just like, so now, everybody's like, we just need to get past that, okay? And yes, did they put up with a little bit of junk from him? Yeah, because you know why they did? Because he's really good. And they don't have anybody else like him. They don't. And by the way, to me, he helps Jalen Waddle. When Tyreek's really good, Jalen Waddle's going to be really good.
Yeah, look, this is a non-story, though, man. There's no way they wrote it out with this guy to just dump him.
Yeah. We got guys that just love the story of trying to set up why he is going to get traded. And you could just go like, okay, old story. I know what he said months ago. I'm out. I know. You can keep bringing it up. I'm out. I know. Okay. Well, guess what? He's here.
Yeah, I mean, look, this thing starts, this season like it ended last season. Team looks like that, and they can't win games. There's a good chance Tyreek Hill is going to cause a disruption of sorts. And then obviously,
as long as he gets his targets and numbers,
I don't know. I think he wants to win too.
He will. Well, he might make a comment about it, but he's gonna
get his targets.
Usually, those guys and there's a group of them, as long as they're getting the ball and they have a chance to get their numbers, it keeps their value up, then they're good. Then they're good.
Texas said the Dolphins season will be over by Thanksgiving. Very positive. I think they're going to be right there in that, in the hunt graphic like they are every year.
Well, they have been every year. We say whatever we want, but we're sitting there with one game or 2 games left.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to figure out, if we win or if somebody else loses or if, and yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know that there's some sort of team that's going to make a playoff run. That a lot of things would have to go right for that to happen, but.
Well, a lot of national guys think, that's.
Well, what do they have, a 24th?
A 24th on that. By the way,
they have as a playoff team.
It was an interesting read if you get a chance. And what they came out with ESPN today, the future power rankings, set up the teams the best the next 3 years on how good they're going to be.
Well, it's basically, do you have a quarterback or not?
Well, it starts with QB.
Yeah, they give the quarterback.
By the way, our QB did not get a great rating in that, and Louis Riddick's one of the guys that puts this together.
Let me ask you a question.
Roster makeup, front office, and coaching staff. The coaching staff got the highest rating.
You think Tua is going to be the quarterback in 3 years? We
no.
Put money down on that?
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't touch that.
I wouldn't either.
No. Gotta see it.
I'm sorry.
No. What are you saying? Sorry. Everybody, whether you like him or not, he's got to stay healthy. We can love him. We can hate him. And by the way, after that preseason game, even more of why I said that a long, long time ago, and maybe those two guys end up getting it together and there's big improvement this week and next week and the week after. But I think you see how important that first quarterback is to staying healthy all season long.
He's just become so polarizing, and it's almost funny because he's not out there in the media, right? He's not out there on social media. He doesn't do podcasts, any of that stuff. Like, he's a pretty relatively harmless guy.
He even says what the things we say, he understands.
Yeah.
He needs to stay healthy.
But that's the thing, like, it's not something you can necessarily control, though.
No, you can't.
Like, everyone keeps talking about this, like, oh, I got to be there for my guy. I got to be smart. I got to do this and that. Like,
it's a dumb topic because he can't help himself some, but he's going to get hit. Like, guys are going to get run over. His offensive lineman.
Richardson had that talk with his coaches. They were like, please stay healthy. He didn't make it through what did he make it through, one drive?
Some guys, and we have one of them, they get hit. Some guys fall down and never. I watched Russell Wilson for years with Seattle take off and run at a really high level and would slide and had a good feel for where everybody was, but he didn't take a lot of hits, right?
But I think I don't know if I want to call him an elite athlete, but he was right up there, right?
Who?
Russell Wilson.
Well, Russell Wilson.
He's a baseball guy too, right?
You know what the first thing I do with all my quarterbacks in the offseason? I go, hey, did you play baseball growing up?
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't now because everybody's a one-sport guy. And you can tell, by the way, when they slide, you go, oh, boy, that friggin' guy never played baseball. Uh-oh, did you see that? That was, oh, God. He almost got hurt sliding. And you got other guys that bounce right up. And hey, Russell Wilson played baseball at a high level. You see it with all the baseball guys. We got a handful of baseball guy backgrounds in there.
Kyler Murray, another guy.
Yeah.
Baseball guy.
High first-round pick with the Oakland A's. All right, we got to go to break, Woody. We're doing a lot of yapping today, man. A lot of coffee, a lot of Dunkin' Donut coffee.
We're trying to figure things out, bro. We're trying to talk through this thing here.
We are talking to it. And by the way, we're going to have Kyle Krabs, host of Locked on Dolphins, and A to Z Sports, NFL analyst, and Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst, who's been hitting all the camps. We'll talk to him. I saw him on the NFL Network last night on the Insiders. Right now, I want to talk to you about Baptist Health, South Florida. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's
info. Go to WQAM.com. This is a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Don't text and drive. Tickets are also available for purchase at KaseyaCenter.com.
All right, Woody. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
You're a big fan. Like to go to those. That's great.
Fan. We got to have a bounce back after Happy Gilmore, too. I'm going to probably go to the show, so
hey,
give me a bounce back.
Woody, it sounds a lot better than what you said yesterday. You didn't like.
It was so unbelievably bad. Like,
how many signs?
And again, I usually like his crap.
How many times have you seen the first movie?
First Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
I mean, that was like a.
I must have seen it 6, 7 times. Yeah.
Like, that was a huge movie.
It was like Caddyshack. Must have seen that stupid thing.
Yeah. And
plus, it was done. Some of it was done here in our backyard.
Sandler's pumped out a lot of garbage over the years, no question. But I tend to like most of it. But this one was so unbelievably bad. And it was a downer. Like, the movie was kind of a downer.
You're not big. Can I just be fair and tell me?
Yeah, please. No, I despise the golfers that were in it. Is that what you're going to ask?
But you just don't like the golfers in general. You like, so let me get this right. You like golf, even though you're probably not very good at it because you don't play.
I tried.
But for some reason, those guys rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I don't know. People like who they like. I don't know.
It's just, do you like any of them? Any of them?
I was a big Tiger Woods fan.
Okay. But all the rest of them.
Tiger played, I'd be glued to the TV.
All right.
Whether he could walk or not.
Little shot in there.
No, okay. I mean, they could, prop him up with a, whatever, and I'd still watch. Send him out there with one leg, no back, whatever it is that's hurting him.
You don't like Scotty Scheffler a little bit or not? Who's clearly the best player in the world.
Yeah, I know
like
he is.
Bio.
I know he is. He's in the movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, he doesn't see. I don't see him doing that kind of stuff because
I don't either.
He's a big family guy, and which I respect. Hell, I wish I was better at. I wish he balanced to be that good and being able to balance things the way he does. And said, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know I'm kicking everybody's ass out here, but my family is number one." And he makes it a point, and that kid comes running over and rolls down the hill, and I'm like, wow,
it's fine, man. Again, but they just. To me, none of those guys have anything near what Tiger had as far as the charisma or the personality.
Yeah, but sometimes just because the guy's personality is different, you respect like how good they are. Like Scotty Scheffler's dominating that sport, and it's hard to dominate that sport. It is. It's kind of guy to guy, like 20 different guys rotate who's the best, but not now.
Something to it though, doesn't it? It's an individual sport. It's like tennis. Like the guy, players got to have a little something.
Yeah, but you rip that sport and everything. You call it stuffy.
I rip it to jab at you. But like Djokovic is a good example, right?
What about Djokovic?
Djokovic has got something to him. He makes people feel something when he's out there playing. Like you either hate the guy, you love the guy.
But you know how good he is.
Like he's
38 years old and still one of the.
You feel something when you watch him, right? Don't you feel something about the guy? Like these golfers they're just there. And yeah, they're good, but they're just there. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like when you watch Djokovic, he's a polarizing guy.
Yeah, but so is
individual sport.
But so is Federer and Nadal.
Nobody wants to watch a tennis player who doesn't have an ounce of personality.
All right, so Phil Mickelson.
Well, Phil had Tiger.
Yeah, but it was good.
But solo Phil doesn't.
Oh my God.
Hey, man, all those guys were on that live golf thing, and they got 100 people watching them on YouTube, okay? So don't act like I'm the only one who's not watching. I give you the numbers for live golf on YouTube.
I know that there's always to make a point something negative about golf with you.
You brought up Happy Gilmore, too. The whole movie was terrible. It wasn't just that.
But a lot of it is because those guys were all on there, and you don't think they had anything to it.
Well, no, they didn't.
Okay.
The whole plot of the movie, too, is like
you're a very interesting creature for not just being a fan and not getting out there and realizing how hard it is to dominate.
I didn't say it's not hard.
I mean,
they're not good.
There's got to be some kind of respect for guys. Look they don't move the meter like Tiger. Everybody would agree with that. Nobody's disagreeing. But can you like other guys? It's like there's not another Michael Jordan right now. Can you still? You all right with that, or has that turned you off now too? No. Nobody moves the meter in the NBA like Michael Jordan. That's a fact.
I wouldn't agree with that. But
what do you mean?
Okay.
The TV meter? That's what I'm talking about.
That's okay.
Michael Jordan had a lot more people. What?
You don't think LeBron was must see? Probably still must see TV. Come on, man. You're just playing your era. I get that Jordan was incredibly popular, but that thing that happened down here at the Big Three Heat,
Oh, it was great
that
for
was about as
here.
big. Oh, come on.
MJ every
That
Saturday
was
and
about as
Sunday
big
on
a
NBC.
sports thing as you'll ever see.
Okay.
Somebody said, just so you know, Tiger was a big scumbag before he got caught.
Yeah, but you don't care about that. But other guys, you scumbag them to death.
Wasn't cheating on me.
You're
of course he's a
just like, hey man, we all have
favorite.
We all have favorite people in every sport, and people like I'm not a Joker fan, but I respect he's the greatest player of all time.
Watching him.
Yeah, of course I watch him.
Yeah.
Hope he loses a lot. When he plays Alcaraz and he plays center, I'm going, hey, I hope,
it's like
he didn't get another win.
Effect, right? Like Floyd Mayweather is a good example. Everyone used to gather around and buy those pay-per-views.
Correct.
You knew they weren't going to be good. You just wanted to see, is this the time he finally gets knocked
out? So
you
want a guy that's either really good that you like or a guy that you just really want to root against, but all the rest of them.
Something when I'm watching it, man.
You're strange, dude. Don't bro me on this one. You and your. I wish one of those those PGA guys is in town, and you confront. I'd love to see your gutless in front of them. I would love to see that. That would be just beautiful.
Well, I'm sure we'd have a nice, polite discussion, judging by their personality.
I don't think you would have any kind of discussion knowing you. All right. Hey, we got to go to break here. We got a lot more stuff to get to here. I can't believe I let you go on. As soon as I mentioned
you brought
Jupiter,
it up.
Just incredible.
Go watch Happy Gilmore too. Tell me what you think, okay?
Probably not going to watch it. You badmouthed it so much, I probably won't watch it now. Hey, we got to go to break here. We've got a lot more stuff coming up here. Next thing I know, you're going to tell me Kyle Krabs doesn't have any personality. You don't want to hear what he has to say. He's going to join us at 8 o'clock. We're going to talk about the Dolphins. Then you'll tell me Mark Ross is just.
Oh, no.
All right. Oh, no, they come on with us. You won't say that. Hey, we got to talk about something really important. Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah. Man, I got to tell you just a few things here. Just a few things this morning. You know what? I don't know about you, but the next time in whole
It's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you have for us today?
Actually, Joe, some huge news broke overnight here. If you're a music fan, Taylor Swift announced her 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl. And to add to that, Joe, she
got engaged.
No.
Oh.
Well, not yet. But she is going on the Travis Kelce podcast.
Oh, my
New
God.
Heights. That will be.
It will be New Heights when that
Wednesday
thing gets done.
at 7. They are saying that this could be the most downloaded podcast in the history of podcasts. And by the way,
there's a ton of Swifties out there, and there are like hundreds of millions of Swifties.
I have never, in all my years of doing this, seen a ticket that was tougher to get. Sports, music, whatever it is. I have never seen a ticket like that.
You feel like she could have filled up that stadium for a month at Hard Rock Stadium. Seriously.
People were spending thousands of dollars to sit in seats where you couldn't even see the stage.
Mothers and daughters were going out getting Swiftie stuff, and amazing. Hey, my girls spent all day getting dressed up.
Yeah, I've never tried so hard to get a single ticket, and I was going to pay for it, and I still couldn't get one. I mean, it was, my God, man. You came through last minute, but so it all worked out. But, man, that was, no, seriously, I've never seen anything like that. Those fans are absolutely nuts. But that podcast will be pretty good for
holy smokes, yeah,
business there. But another album coming out, Joe. So hopefully that means we get another.
Well, they're going to be watching. You know what Swifty's going to be watching? They're going to be watching to see if she talks about where the future is in that relationship.
I just hope she announces another tour so I can go through that again.
Yeah, that's just what you need.
That was fun. All right, Joe. Speaking of very popular women, Caitlin Clark had another $300,000 plus card sell. This is the third time she has had a card sell for over $300,000. This was an immaculate logo woman. They call it a logo woman, logo man.
Yeah. Yep. Gotcha.
And this one sold for $317,000.
How about that, Woody? Gosh, man.
Yeah.
She, what she has done, God, people hate this. You say it. What she's done for the WNBA is incredible.
Yeah.
It really
is. I don't know why
is.
people hate that so much. I don't know why it bothers people.
Well, because they'll say, first of all, there's been a lot of great players in that league. And nobody disagrees with that. Been a lot of great players. She just happens to move the dial and bring a lot more eyeballs and butts to seats than anybody else.
Like, the other players should be thrilled about this, man. Like, I drive in and I listen to that ESPN overnight thing and watch TV in the morning. Like, they're running highlights. They're talking about it.
Oh, you get a lot more.
It's a thing now. Like, people.
Their games are on TV a lot more. You know more about the players.
I think a lot of that has to do with her, man. That thing used to be very, very relevant. And she has done a lot for it.
A lot of them, the truth being, again, she bring a lot more money, by the way, besides all the other things. Yeah. I should mention salaries are going to be going up because of her. Yeah, it's just everything. I know
there's other good players and people get pissed off, but whatever. Yeah. Anyway, by the way, Joe, her top selling card sold for $660,000. That was a Flawless logo woman. Flawless is that card set that they open up out of that silver briefcase.
Okay.
And that sold again $660,000. That is the record for any women's sports card at a public auction.
Wow. Man.
She's popular.
Good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
All right, here you go, Joe. Another lucrative opportunity here for you out there. We had the monthly snake contest.
What?
Are you familiar with the snake contest?
Well, go to the Everglades?
Yeah, you can go out in the Everglades and you can capture these pythons. So we had the winner here for this month captured 87 invasive pythons in just a month here, Joe.
Yeah.
And he's going to get a $1,000 reward for his trouble.
What they got sizes of some of those huge pythons?
Yeah, well, they said in 2023 here, a 19-foot python was captured in Florida. That would be worth $425 under the new incentive program. So how it works here, Joe, is they're paid $50 for each snake they secure, with an extra $25 for every foot the snake stretching longer than the average of 4 feet. So
yeah.
Does that make any sense there?
Hey, Woody, if somebody's going out on a hunt one night
Mm-hmm.
and they said, hey, Woody, you want to go with us? We're going out on a python hunt in the middle of the Everglades.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to go out on that?
You know me. What do you think?
Probably same as me.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
If I saw it in my backyard, I'd cry. Devastated. By the way, roughly 19,000 have been removed since the year 2000 show.
But
a lot of snakes.
Not even coming close to taking care of that problem. Not even close.
And our final one, we see this so much down here. This isn't one of those where like the guy got drugged and got his watch stolen. This is where the guy just got his watch straight up stolen.
Yeah.
2 a.m. here, Joe, Miramar. We had a robbery of a $30,000 Rolex watch. Guy got shot over this thing here.
Damn.
It's amazing. People still, everyone walks around with these expensive things down here. Risky.
Yep.
Risky, man.
Just take it. It's yours if you want it. No reason to shoot me. Here.
Yeah, come take your Fitbit, Joe. Someone's going to take that thing off you?
I just told you. Take it.
Yeah.
It's got about, it was $100. I don't know. I've had on for a while, probably down to about 40, but it's yours if you want it. Hey, Woody, we got a lot more stuff to get to. Kyle Crabbs, host of Locked On Dolphins and A to Z Sports, NFL analyst, going to join us coming up. We're going to talk about Dolphins, first preseason game, and getting ready for the 3 big days with the Lions and Dolphins against each other in practice, as well as the preseason game on Saturday. We'll get into all that stuff with him coming up next, so don't go away. But first, want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic doing great work and knocking out ED and low T. Hey, man, if you right now have started
The Dolphins will be in Detroit tomorrow for their first of 2 joint practices with the Lions. Over to the Canes, who came in at 10 in the first AP poll. Miami will host 6th-ranked Notre Dame on the 31st. And to the Marlins, who will begin a 3-game series in Cleveland tonight. The first pitch is at 6:40 from Progressive Field. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. Kyle Krabs, host of Locked on Dolphins and A to Z Sports, NFL analyst, joins us. Kyle, good morning, man, and thanks for coming on. Was wondering, as all the news, the first preseason game is over. A lot of different topics with the game, and we'll jump into all of them. First of all, I want to start because this was a big one yesterday. Hey, man, he was working on that goal line and short yardage situation, understands how important. He was stubborn about it. I loved it. This is where we get our work. They don't do it full speed and all out where you can tackle in practice like they used to. I'm glad they were doing the work. What'd you think?
Yeah, obviously you would love for it to not be pulling teeth down there, but I think when you look at what happened on some of the runs, and I think there's some easily correctable things. I appreciated the attitude. I liked what Mike McDaniel said after the game as far as like, look, we wanted the reps. Well, you got a couple of good concepts to get a look at, and you got a feel for how Jalen Wright feels those. You saw how Ollie Gordon handled his opportunities later in the game. Your best player, what you felt like in that regard, was Mattison, so that's a bit of a bummer, and you're going to have to figure out who you want to kind of be the marquee guy there. But I was with you. Once they got down on the one, I said, I hope they run it every time, right? It's preseason. I don't care if they score. I want to see you work on it, and I want to see who and where you feel like you can run to get that yard when you need that yard.
Savaiya Naya and James Daniels, your top free agent that you picked, and you moved up to get your other guard, both 320 pounds. Those guys, they need to work. They need to get used to it. Patrick Paul in there as well. So I was just glad to see we got so many opportunities. And I know if it was a game and a regular game and we went 15 plays and didn't score, it would have been a downer, but they probably wouldn't have run it every time in that situation. All right, so speaking of the O-line, Larry Borom played a lot at right tackle. And what did you think not only about Larry Borum's play, but the second group of guys that played a lot of that game on the O-line?
Yeah, I thought Borom was fine. I know he's a player of interest because he plays the swing tackle, and for the rest of the preseason, we're not going to have Austin Jackson rolling. So Larry got 31 snaps. I thought he had probably 2 reps in pass pro where it looked like he kind of let guys get into him and collapse the edge. And obviously your responsibility as a tackle is to set the width of the pocket. So I felt like you kind of felt a couple of collapses. And I thought in the run game, it was what you were hoping to see from a point of attack and displacement. That opening drive, we were getting some really good expansion on the edge when it was running to Larry. And then you get down in the short yardage situations and, hey, I got a defensive lineman lined up head up over top of me, and he's going to crash down inside and try to get into the B gap. And he washed it down, and he did it on more than one occasion. So I think you understand what the strengths and weaknesses are of the player. I think you were projecting him as a fit into how Miami likes to run their offense. And I think you saw why this was a marriage that the team was interested in. And I think there's nice things to work with Larry Borom.
Any of the other guys, when those guys were all out, any of the other ones with the 2s and 3s that you liked that you're going, okay, there's some potential there to work with to have on a 53-man roster?
Yeah, I'm kind of cheating here a little bit, but I'll take it because of how you asked the question. I think Daniel Brunskill, with his experience in the scheme, I thought he played a really clean game. Great. And he ended up playing 22 snaps. A lot of it was pass protection work. I think he was only on the field for a half dozen runs when it was all said and done. But I think Brunskill the absence of Eichenberg, and you're assuming Eichenberg with his contracts and the commitment there and the experience in the scheme that like he's probably not a bubble guy for you. I think both of those guys have earned the opportunity, especially because I thought one of the more disappointing players that Miami had was one that I was hopeful for this year in Keon Smith.
Oh.
Keon played a little bit here, there, and everywhere, and I don't think he looked comfortable anywhere. And on that possession, when Quinn Ewers had the strip sack, I mean, that entire play sequence was pretty tough for Keon at left tackle. So that's one for me. I'm looking for a big bounce back next week is Keon Smith, because I remember the cameo appearances he had in 23 and looked like a promising player. He missed all of last year. But I don't think he's high enough up on the pecking order where you can afford to have bad games and play everywhere and not look comfortable anywhere, which is what I kind of felt like the tape looked like against Chicago.
Yeah. All right. Jump in the cornerback position, the other hot topic here in the first couple of weeks. So Storm Duck looks like this is just me. Tell me if you're with me or not. Storm Duck looks like your number one guy right now. I moved Ethan Bonner ahead of Jack Jones as a corner and Kendall Sheffield, and I know others disagree. I think Ethan Bonner, they're starting to trust more. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable. I still think Jack Jones got more talent than any of them if he could ever put it all together, and Kendall Sheffield at number 4. What about for you?
I think you have the right collection of 4 guys. I think for me, Storm is the one that has the sweat equity and played in the system last year. So I think there's a level of trust there for what they want him to do technically. I thought Ethan played the best game against Chicago out of all those guys. Now I thought Jack Jones had a lot of really bright flashes, obviously called for the DPI. I think Jack, I would still be surprised if we get to week 1 and Jack Jones is not one of your starters.
Yeah.
Because he's that talented.
I agree.
But Ethan Bonner, obviously, he had the tip ball on the Patrick McMorris interception, and that was a great play at the catch point. So I think this competition is far from settled, and I thought the preseason game made it more intense coming into this week against Chicago because I think guys represented themselves well, all in all, when it was all said and done.
I'm going to jump over here, the quarterback situation. Were you disappointed? Is that kind of what you thought with what they were playing with Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers?
Yeah, I thought Zach, the near pick 6 at the end of the half was pretty rough, where it was a ball that was late and it was a ball that was left behind, inside, and that's a bad combo when you're throwing outrigger routes. It would be late, inside, and behind. So he dodged the bullet on that one for sure. I think it's all the timing of everything, right? And I think he had a couple of really nice rips. I think Quinn Ewers had a couple of really nice rips, and Quinn had less help as far as guys catching the ball for him. I mean, he had some throws that were tight window throws that I don't think are advisable to make, but I think Quinn had, and it doesn't surprise me based off of how he played at Texas, Quinn looked like he had more of those opportunities where he gets to the top of the drop, he sees space and he says, I'm going to throw it. Like that trust and timing and spot placement, because that's how this offense is so often designed to operate, and it's what they did at Texas a lot of times. Now, the timing of it wasn't very pretty a lot because it's third, fourth string wide receivers. It's Quinn getting these opportunities for the first time. So the efficiency of it wasn't great. But if I'm looking for the good thing from each guy, I think Zach had that throw to Taj Washington where he was hot and the Bears brought pressure and they were free up the A-gap, and he laid it out for knowing he was going to get hit to Taj. I thought that was his best play. And then Quinn, it was the willingness to trust the timing of the construct of the play.
Yeah. Let's move to the receiver position. I thought the guys played overall pretty well. Excuse me. Both Taj and Malik Washington. Akine had a nice play, and D. Eskridge, and part of that was their returns as well. You can't keep everybody, I don't think. Who'd you like? Who kind of jumped out of that group that you liked as a 3 and 4?
Yeah, I think the chemistry with Malik Washington and Tua was not lost on me, where you could kind of see that towards the end of the year last year.
Yep.
And then you get the third down and the fourth down conversions and one of them to the field. So that's obviously a longer throw. But outbreaking patterns outside the numbers, I thought both of them were great routes from Malik to kind of get off the line of scrimmage and stem and set up the defender and then win across the face to get clean breaks and catch balls in stride towards the sticks. I thought so. Malik, from that perspective, stood out. I thought the best stuff that Nick did was in the run game. We've been asking for physical blocking wide receiver for a while, and there was 3-4 occasions where Nick was the play side wide receiver, and he was condensed split. And he's coming down on a linebacker or a safety, and really effective. And that got me excited for Nick. So I think those two guys are the guys that popped to me the most as far as the wide receiver pecking order. I think Taj Washington had himself a really nice game as far as some of the short area twitchiness, and we obviously didn't see him last year. And I think the special team stuff in general was outstanding, and I think the fact that you got a number of different guys that had positive contributions in the return game, I don't know that helps de-Eskridge as you're trying to get through the pecking order.
Yeah. By the way, special teams overall, when I know it's only one preseason game, man, what a difference, huh? That group, that's one of the best games I've seen overall in a long time.
You're not kidding. And it was kick coverage, it was returns, and it was consistent. It was not, they broke one return. I mean, that their average starting field position after returning a kick was like the minus 42-yard line.
Yeah,
So
no, it was crazy.
The hidden field position, but that's how you get 10 penalties and 2 turnovers, one of them inside your own 5, and still tie the game in a preseason setting, is the field position element of what you had. I thought was a really promising first showing for Craig Aukerman's group.
All right, so obviously there's been a little shuffle here because of the Mattison injury, and we hope he's okay after, finding out and playing doctor during the game and find out how bad it was, so we hope he's okay. But now all of a sudden, Ollie Gordon II, man, I tell you, he's a strong-looking dude at 225 pounds. You see him moving up a little closer to Jalen Wright, and I don't blame Jalen Wright, by the way. He had no shot on that fourth down play on the goal line there. But are they close, or Jalen Wright still clearly number 2?
I think Jalen Wright's got a balance of skill sets, and I think he has – and the run that he had that he took down to the 1-yard line on that possession where they end up not scoring any points. But it looked like it was some kind of inside zone where he has to cut out the back door. And as he cuts to his left, he then has kind of the cutback opportunity to get north and get straight up the field and spike the run. And the angle in which he gets his cleats in the ground and explodes off of that hard cut is something that I think is going to set him up for a lot of successful runs. And I don't know that Ollie has that reactive cut ability to him. So as you're getting these guys in the flow of it, and you're getting the feel for the run game and what concepts you want to work and where you can trust runs to develop, I think having that reactive element for Jalen is going to help him, where once you know, hey, we're going to hit this gap where we want it, it's going to be there. I think that's where the size and kind of the burst of Ollie will really showcase itself best for you.
Man, we got so much to talk about. Hey, real quickly, I thought one of the best plays of the game, and I'm trying to figure out how he can be on the 53-man roster because I don't know necessarily he's one of your top pass rushers. Cameron Good made one of the great plays running down the field. I mean, that's one of those plays where the special teams coach goes, hey, man, I know he might not be one of the top 4 or 5 pass rushers, but you got to keep him. And then I look at Derek McClendon, who, by the way, everybody in South Florida are writers on the Derek McClendon. You got to keep him. We're always looking for that one great story that he's going to be on there. And so what do you do? Can you keep both those guys?
That's going to be tough because I look at the defensive tackle room too, Joe. And like Austin Clark wasn't kidding when he said he has 9 guys who can play a little bit, right? So you got Steeler, you got the 3 rookies, and I thought Biggers had a good game as well, and he almost blocked the kick. and he had, I think, 3 block kicks in college. So, like, that's on his resume as a thing. And then you've got Matthew Butler had some promising
Matt
looks.
Dickerson,
Matt Dickerson, who
great.
I think had an outstanding game. Ben Stilley. You've got a lot up front, and I don't think you can afford to just keep 13 guys on the defensive line. So the math there is going to be really tough. So I don't think you're going to have a spot for both Cam Good and McClendon. I kind of look at the depth chart, and I would expect that they're going to keep 5. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
So it's the top 4 guys, and then probably one more. And I think Cam Good's got a big leg up there because of the special teams profile.
Yeah, man, that play he made is not easy to get off a block running down the middle of the field 5 yards ahead of everybody else that's running down there with you and make that kind of play was ridiculous. Hey, always great having you, Kyle. Thank you so much, man. A lot of good stuff.
Yes, sir. It's good to have football back. I'm glad we could chop it up a little bit.
There you go, man. Kyle Crabbs, host of Locked On Dolphins and A to Z Sports, NFL analyst with us this morning. Talk a little bit about the Dolphins. We could have gone about 2.5 hours straight with that guy. Hey, we got more stuff to tell you about. Your South Florida Chevy dealers has never looked better than it does right now, man. Telling you right now about the SUV family. And hey, look it. I'm gonna try to take a day off from my Tahoe. Yes, I have a 2025 Tahoe I just bought, and I love it. And the Suburbans are ridiculous. They're so nice. They look great. They have so much room. They've gotten bigger and better. But I want to talk about the midsize SUV family, like the all-new Equinox. Woody couldn't take it, man. He finally had to get one, the all-new Equinox, and he had to get the electric Equinox SUV, which is on fire right now as well. Hey, whatever it is, when it Welcome back. Want to thank Kyle Craps, man. That guy could break it all down and give you an idea of everything after watching tapes and going through the whole process from a couple days ago and getting set. I didn't get a chance to get into it. Hey, the three big days for the Dolphins coming up against a team. Dan Campbell is not worried about being anybody else's friend, in case you didn't know that, as far as coach. Dan Campbell and Mike McDaniel are completely different dudes. I'm shocked they're practicing twice. To be honest, I'm shocked they're going to have 2 practices against the Lions. And obviously the preseason game, I'm not shocked. But anyway, so they're going to get a lot of good work in. So that will be an interesting couple of days to see how that goes. They need the work. Dolphins need to work, man. This is part of getting rid of that. You're not physical, you're finesse and all that stuff. And you heard Kyle talking about it. I agree, man. They got some tough decisions. The toughest decisions will be on that D line. You cannot keep them all. First of all, you're keeping all 3 defensive linemen that you just drafted. That's a slam dunk. Benito Jones going to be on the team. Shocked if he's not there. He's had a nice little camp for what he's used for as a run stopper. Zach has been unbelievable. Had a great day of practice against Chicago. Their coaches said he just was chewing guys up on the offensive line. He was just really, really good. And then on top of that, you got some other guys that can play. Dickerson and some of those other guys are really, really good players that you got to make some decisions on. So yeah, this been interesting how many of these guys you can keep. Although I will tell you, unless draft picks are really bad, they're going to be on that 53. That will happen. So it's too early to do that. I know all our writers have their list out of what they think the 53 is going to look like. And, of course, you still got 2 preseason games and some practices. And, of course, a lot of this comes down to who's still healthy as well and who might have to go to the IR and all the other junk that has happened and still could happen with this team. But there's still a bunch of other stuff that is going to be important, man, at a lot of positions and ranking and trying to figure out. And then when it's all said and done, you go shopping on other teams to pick up another offensive lineman. Does somebody say we're not good enough with backups and we need to go get another offensive lineman from somebody else? Or same at cornerback. Is there somebody else we can develop? And you can take guys off practice squad if you're not aware of this. I guess most people are. But I can take anybody off your practice squad and put them on my practice and make them an active roster player. You can't change from practice squad to practice squad. But if you're taking a player off somebody's practice squad, they're going to your 53-man roster, which is full pay. A big game changer for players. So probably have a couple of those when it's all said and done with everything with the team. We got bunch of other stuff going on with the team as well, and they got some really good shape, man. I keep going back to this. Really good shape on some positions. So we're going to be jumping on some stuff going on in the NFL, including Shedeur Sanders, who looked real good in Cleveland in his first game. I actually stayed around to watch it. They had it on TV, and it was good. Jackson Dart actually played well. Cam Ward made some great throws. We didn't talk about it. And by the way, Cam's offensive line, I don't know who they were playing against. I saw his highlights. Cam Ward had some time to throw. You see some of the time he had to throw the ball down the field. So good start but it was a good start for everybody. I see Justin Fields are talking about how he got off, and now everybody in New York's all excited about Justin Fields, and he ran when he needed to. He made some throws. He got rid of the ball. You kind of feel without anybody's not putting a game plan in defensively that a lot of these quarterbacks, unless their offensive line is just awful, there's always something kind of open where everybody should be playing pretty well, especially the number ones.
Into the preseason, man.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Skyler had a monster. He had the best game out of anyone.
He was our first week preseason MVP.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't have an award for that, though. That Skyler thing, you know what? Hey, I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't. But go take that show and get your fan base all fired up. Ours is, we're done with that. Right? We're over that.
I think we're past that, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I will tell you, though, the backup quarterbacks for our guys didn't.
No. I said
play,
the guys who started the games around the league.
Yes, you did.
I did not say.
Well, I'm guessing these guys are going to. I mean, right? Tua's got to be just about done, I would think.
Yeah. Yes. The only thing is, if Tua says, "Hey, I want to play against Jacksonville for a series at home,"
yeah, take a couple snaps. That's fine.
One series.
But for the most part, it's going to be those two.
You saw the throws he made. Quick outs, third down.
No, they're not.
Back comes out of the backfield one-on-one against a linebacker. Achane chew him up every day of the week. Guy had no chance. Little move, breakout, wide open. Tua makes the throw. Drives keep going. Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, they're going to call it safe. Imagine they call it QB draw or something.
So I'll give you a good one.
Defense.
Does Tyreek come back and play it all?
No.
Just ramps it up in practice, and that's it.
Yeah, he's fine without playing.
Okay.
By the way, I wouldn't play Waddle either while we're at it.
So you just what about Achane?
No.
I'm with you.
I hate.
By the way, I'm with you on Achane. I don't want
Achane. I just think the preseason's useless.
You got
what happened to Alexander Mattison's like such a good example of why the preseason sucks.
But you can't worry when you do this about guys. You don't go out. A coach doesn't go out and go, you got to play. You're going to play. I'm going to give all you guys. I'm splitting this up. You're going to try to get you guys 7 or 8 carries each. And then guy gets hurt on his carry.
Yeah.
You can't play the card of like, well, now you screwed it. Now I'm getting ripped by the media because I played him.
I know. How many more starters can the Dolphins afford to lose, though?
No. I know it's probably.
I know that he wasn't.
They're not deep in some positions.
Man,
I understand.
Out there, how many more
can
you afford to lose?
I know it's a different time. It's a lot more money. The game's more popular and everything else.
It's a different time. You just want you guys healthy when the season starts.
But you got to get some live work. And I don't mean don't tackle, don't take them to the ground, don't chop them, stay away from their legs. Because when you start, it's all, you got to get a little bit of that. You have to.
So I also don't buy into this whole, like, if they don't play in the preseason, they're going to get hurt in the regular season thing.
Some do.
I don't buy into that because
you don't buy from going 0 to 60.
No, because I think these guys have the best health professionals in the world working for these teams. And I'm guessing they have a pretty good idea of what's best for these people, or these players, right? All the doctors and the analytics guys and the sports science people. Like, I'm guessing they know what's best.
So how do you get young guys ready to go if they never tackle till the first game?
Young guys, you can play some of the young guys.
Well, that's what this should be about.
But starters, man, like long-term starters, just let them sit. We don't need anyone else getting knocked down.
So why is everybody playing? It seems like a little bit more this year than before. Not everybody, a lot of
starters. So Joe Burrow played. Patrick Mahomes always plays.
You didn't question what he does. And again, you lose a guy. They lost Hollywood Brown on the first catch last year. Remember in preseason? Yeah. First catch went down and was gone till damn near the whole season, until he came back towards the end. I don't know, man.
It's a tough call.
So the other thing is, and the media dogpile job we do when one of these guys, gets hurt. Why was he in the game? Why was he playing? You know what you have. These guys going, hey, man, they got to get a little work.
I'll leave you on this one. Texture says this team sucks. They need all the reps they can get. There you go, Joe. Let me get to Mark Ross on that one.
I don't know if everything sucks.
Ask Mark Ross what he thinks. Curious. About playing guys.
No, I will.
He was front office guy.
No. They got to make those decisions. I'm with you. We will talk to Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst and former front office guy with the Giants. We'll have that for you coming up here in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Oh, my gosh. Michael Kotze.
of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, thank you, Woody. And, man, I've been watching him every night. Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst. And before we get into it, NFL Network will carry 7 live preseason games here in week 2. I must have watched all of them on the road in Chicago, including a doubleheader with re-airs of every game streaming available on NFL Plus. So they got a lot of great stuff going on. Mark, nice enough to find some time for us, and I really appreciate it. And, Mark, I got to start with this one because we got people like, why do we lost a guy in Mattison who looked really good at running back and out for the year now. Why do we have preseason? Why do we play these guys? I think everybody needs to play, minus maybe a couple of veterans. I think there's a reason that a lot of young guys need to play preseason football a little bit. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, preseason is definitely necessary for, really players that make the team. It's not about scheming. It's not about wins and losses. It's not about, as you said, the veterans. It's an opportunity for young players to show what they can do, and that's, it's going to, an Ollie Gordon. Let's say you lose a Mattison, but then you get a revelation possibly in an Ollie Gordon. If you don't have preseason, you might not see him in a game setting like that. Now, that being said, I think preseason is going to keep shrinking away and regular season games will keep getting added. So it'll be a little bit of both for fans will get their wish of no preseason. And of course, the owners will get their wish of more regular games, make more money.
I was going to say, that's coming soon. Coming soon to you in your National Football League. We are looking at 18 games,
yeah.
and I mean real soon. You agree?
Oh, yeah, it's happening. Whenever there's talk about the NFL making money in some kind of way, and they might have a Tuesday game or a Wednesday game, prime time every night of the week, there'll be a football game. And if it's going to make a ton of money, the NFL is going to find a way to do it. And if the players are in the harm's way, so be it. That's okay. We'll be okay. We'll be all right. So, yeah, it's 18 games is definitely coming soon.
Hey, so I was a little surprised when I heard I'm on my way back up here in a couple of days for the Detroit Lions and the Dolphins game. They got 2 practices against Campbell's team and then the preseason game. One thing I have learned about being around him, he's not concerned with anybody thinks. He's going to run a physical camp, and I'm guessing this might be really what the Dolphins need to see a team that this is the way they practice, a lot more physical. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there's definitely, you don't know until you experience something. So you may think you're practicing hard until you practice against someone who practices harder. You may think you're giving your best until, wow, that's really the level we have to get to. Now, different coaches do it different ways. Some coaches are more laid back with their preseason practice, training camp practice. Some people go hard. I was with Andy Reid. We used to tackle. Back in the early 2000s. We tackled in training camp, and he still has a pretty physical practice as well. So those results work for him. Whereas I know other coaches don't do it the same way. Whether that's the secret sauce for Detroit, I don't know, but it's worked for him and Dan Campbell, and that result speaks for itself. Now they get a lot of injuries too towards the end of the year, so there's the flip side. So there's always the give and take of what actually works, what's the best way of doing it.
Hey, Mark, have we had an overreaction to? I know we can't get enough football to preseason football week 1. Especially with quarterbacks and how they play against a generic defense or not. See comments about Jackson Dart and Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders and a lot of other quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's definitely an overreaction. You get a better look in practice against your own team than you do in a preseason game as far as the looks you get and the players you play against. I used this yesterday talking about Shedeur last night. Of course, we got to talk about Shedeur. And I just said, well, just staying in practice, he's looking at Myles Garrett across the way. And then now he goes to the preseason game, he's looking at a guy that's not even going to be on the team. So, and then you got Jim Schwartz defense scheming up different things because you're trying to put your offense in the worst possible situations, the most stressful situations to see if you can perform. So you're ready for your first game, your first real game, whereas preseason teams are just trying to get out of there. They're calling everything basic. There's second, third, fourth team guys that aren't going to play. So, the overreaction when someone looks decent, as those guys did. There's been so many preseason all-stars at quarterback that you really can't put much into it. Other positions, yeah, you can tell a little bit more. I mean, you can tell if a receiver's got explosiveness and burst and his hands look good. But as far as a quarterback and really facing a live rush and multiple coverages and stunts and twists and scheming and formation, it's not the same.
Well, I got to tell you, nobody moves the dial one way or the other more than Shedeur Sanders. I know why you talked about him. There's no question. And everyone wants to know what everybody thinks. He played great, by the way, made some nice throws and moved around. And then I guess they have him fourth on the depth chart. And people are going, what? He needs to start the next. What do you say? And where do you think he ends up? Does he end up as a backup? Could you see him starting somehow if he keeps playing well? Where do you think he fits in?
Yeah, he's not going to start. And then you have to take that preseason game in totality of what they've seen from him all off season. And, this week they practice against talk about joint practices. They practice against the Eagles this week, and he may go there and look completely terrible, and no one's going to know. One's going to have any idea. If Shedeur Sanders goes up against, throw him in there against the Eagles' first team defense, Vic Fangio, and it's like, okay, now let me show you what the NFL is all about, son. And he can look terrible, but no one would know. I was in Cleveland last week for training camp on Monday, and the day before he didn't even practice, because he was injured. And then he got his opportunity because Dylan Gabriel got hurt, Kenny Pickett was hurt, and of course they're not going to play Joe Flacco. But I 100% Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback when they open up the season. And then really Kenny Pickett was the wild card of the guy they kind of wanted to emerge. And I think Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur are really fighting it out, and there's still a few weeks for that to happen. But really the best indication is Kevin Stefanski and his group watching him every day, not for a half in a preseason game.
Yeah. All right, so the Jets win 30. Now we're going back to AFC East in general. I hear the Jets fans and Patriot fans down here. Jets win 30-10 over Green Bay. Patriots put 48 on Washington. You're like, we're a lot better. We're coming after you, man.
Yeah.
So how much did you read into it? People are excited and, talking about different guys playing great, and this is what they needed, and new coaches. What'd you take out of those two games?
Yeah, and again, that could be fool's gold where there's been tons of teams that have looked incredible in preseason, and then they go out there regular season and they fall flat. And you have to look at what's sustainable and what are things that are real in these preseason games, and not much of it is. And you got your starters that play a series and you're out. You're like, okay, well, if our backups are going to go play in that opening game, then we look fantastic. But I think with those fan bases, for sure, that you just need some hope and some positivity that this is the year. This is it. This is going to change it. The Jets have been a long time. They're in a different boat with the Patriots where they're just trying to just say, hey, we're good now since Brady left. And, in totality, I think the Patriots will be a lot better. The indication, how they played in the game is just a continuation of the good off season that I think they've had.
We have seen, Mark, a lot of holdouts and a lot of guys not happy and want to renegotiate contracts. Boy, I was looking at Cameron Hayward's situation. He's 36 years old. He now decided I want a contract extension. 8 sacks last year. He's really good. As I said, he's 36 years old. He's got a couple years left on his contract. You've been in the front office. What do they do? Pittsburgh spent a lot of money so far to put this thing together. He's threatening too. Like he goes, hey man, I'm serious now. I've made a lot of money. I'll sit out on you. What do you do if you're in the front office right now of the Steelers on that situation?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have it worse than those two. You have to deal with Watson and Hayward back to back. You're not just dealing with some regular dudes. You're dealing with Cam Hayward, first ballot Hall of Fame type player. What Watt is top 3 player, defensive end in the league.
Right.
So that's where the problem is, where you got to let the business separate from the person. And it's so hard with Cam Hayward because of what he's meant to that what he means to that organization and what he's been for that organization. But then you got to say, okay, if his name was Bob Jones and he was 36 years old, he played decent last year. Right. What do we do with him? Well, we're not going to give him any we're not going to do this. He's 36. You've mentioned it twice in the lead up to it. So that in that respect, you got to separate the business from the person, and it's almost impossible, more than any situation that I remember of a player meaning so much to an organization at this stage of his career, that's asking for an extension. So it'll get dicey there if he's really content on holding out.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I got to ask you this one. I wasn't sure how the new kickoff, we did have Darren Rizzi come on. He was telling us he thinks it's going to be 75% or so returns. It's kind of looking that way. It worked great with the Dolphins on the returns. We saw a touchdown already. I like the new kickoff return. What do you think so far from what we've seen?
Yeah, it's been an emphasis by the league office. They want to see the return in play. They want to see that, as they've done studies to say that the fans like it. So that's why they moved it up to give teams more of an incentive to kick it into the zone, the catch zone there. And if it goes out to the 35, then punish teams to make sure it stays in play. So, if this leads to more exciting returns and turnovers or whatever it may be, that's great. And as long as it's the injuries are still minimized, because last year was the lowest concussion rate they had, basically because nobody was returning them. So you really had plays where nobody was returning them. You're not going to get any concussions when only 10% get returned. So, we'll see how the numbers go this year as how many returns and then how many injuries are on those returns.
So Mark, every week we watch these kids because I watch them warm up, and they got plenty of leg to kick, all of them, just damn near every one of them. I know we got one in Jason Sanders. He can kick him in the mid-60s. But we saw a 70-yard field goal. Incredible. You're talking about being on the other side of the 50, man. I mean, you think we'll start to see more of that? It won't take much to get there with the new kickoff returns either if you got a guy that's got the big leg. What's your take on the future of the field goal?
Yeah, I guess, just as players, regular position players get bigger, stronger, faster, kickers get bigger, stronger, faster, it seems, because, he drilled that one. And then I was at the Ravens practice 2 weeks ago or a week before, first week, whatever, training camp opened, and their rookie, Tyler Luke, he hit one from 60 in practice, and he had about 10 yards to spare when he hit that one. So it would have been, it would have been good from about 70. And, you're seeing more and more of that where, these guys are training harder, getting their bodies bigger, and just like the position players. And it'll be fun. Hopefully in game situations, we'll see more of it.
Hey, Mark, I just want to let you know, as a guy that's known you for a while now, don't think I wasn't going to ask you before you left, how'd the family event down here in South Florida go? Home run?
Amazing, man. Oh, it was incredible. It really was. Everybody had a great time. A lot of laughs, a lot of fun, a lot of liquor, a lot of food. We really had an amazing time.
That hit the combination right there, the booze and stuff. And I'm guessing you must get hit with football stuff all the time, right? Somebody can't go more than like 5 minutes and going, hey, what do you think of this or that, right? That's part of the deal.
Always, man. But that's okay. I just deflect onto something else. I'll get other people arguing about football, and I'll sneak off to another conversation.
You stir it up and then leave. All right. Hey, Mark, thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst. And don't forget, NFL Network will carry 7 live preseason week 2 games, including a doubleheader, quadruple header with re-airs of every game and streaming available on NFL Plus. Not bad at all if you need to get a fix. But where they start? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're spreading out good old preseason, man. Hey, we got to go to break. We got 9 o'clock hour coming up. I do want to take a second to talk about Chev and the people that work for him and the work they do at Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Hurricane season is out there. You see them. See all the noodles. They're going all over the place. And I know what you're thinking if you haven't gotten Impact Windows and Doors and got a leaky roof. I know what you're thinking. Did I mess up? Well, you didn't mess up if you can still call Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. You got that old leaky roof. Replace your old roof now when you
Over to the Canes, who came in at 10 on the first AP poll. Miami will host 6th-ranked Notre Dame on the 31st. And the Marlins will begin a 3-game series in Cleveland tonight. The first pitch is at 6:40 from Progressive Field. Joe, all those college football rankings continuing to trickle out here.
And one thing,
10v6 for the first game. How about that? Not so bad.
One thing is consistent on those, and that is the Canes come in at 10.
Yep.
All the polls. They're not that far off, really, from 1 to 25. See, Penn State's 2. People are saying it's the best team Penn State's had in a long, long time, and yet, Texas number 1 in both.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Ohio State. My God, how good is that?
Good.
1 versus 2.
Good opening weekend, man. There's some really good games.
Oh, my God. And then Sunday, of course, that Sunday, you've got Notre Dame. And
what time are people going to
Miami.
start tailgating for that thing? Because there's no school or work on Monday.
I can only speak on behalf of the Catholics at Notre Dame. I know there's a lot of Catholics with the Canes.
Oh, do they have a conflict?
What?
On Sunday morning with the game?
No.
No? Don't you guys? No.
It's fine not to go to mass and get there early and get
Notre Dame's playing.
Notre Dame's going to bring some fans for that
I would
opener.
think. Yeah.
The kids, parents got a lot of money. They'll be coming down. I was going to run that real quickly. Yeah. They're coming down to have fun, too. My God, it is raining. There goes that tennis game in 2 hours. That thing just...
I can't believe it, by the way. Like, Jamie turned to me, he's like, is it raining? I go, well, I look
raining?
at the TVs. The TVs are coming in clear.
That thing,
usually we get a cloud overhead, and those TVs are long gone.
One thing about living here that is always amazing, you can get 3 inches of rain in no time.
Mm-hmm.
You can go from clear to flooding somewhere real quickly. California would love to have the rain that we have from the start to the finish of whatever this one's going to be today. Yeah, it would be amazing.
You guys got a drought going on?
Always. Mm-hmm. Fires started back up. Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Get back up. As long as they stay out of Northern California, they can stay in, not that I do that, but yeah, Southern California is not really part of Northern California. That's not true, obviously. It sounded good, though. It is a lot different, though. It's kind of like here, though. Tallahassee and Jacksonville was a hell of a lot different than South Florida.
Yeah, I like to think we're different than them, yes.
Much different. We talk differently. We even talk a little different, right?
That's true, yeah.
That wasn't a shot. We just talk a little different, that's all.
Wasn't a shot.
It wasn't.
We're on up there, so you got to be careful.
No, we don't go that far. Man, I got to tell you.
Never know.
And I'm not apologizing for this, and I feel terrible, about this was a music station, but 104.3, if you're listening on 560, great. Love to have it, and we're glad you've been with us for a while, but this 104.3 FM, WQAM, is phenomenal. I told you what I'm doing when I get back. I'm going to be gone all weekend, but next week, my wife goes, hey, what do you want to do? And I go, Friday night, I was wondering if we could travel up to Palm Beach. I'm really never do this. I just want to hear the radio station. I want to go up to like Jupiter just to check, maybe, hang out with some of the golfers and stuff, see where they're practicing and do some of that stuff.
They got the baseball up there, right?
Got that.
Should go catch a game.
What, single A game? You're being
one of these days. I'll drive to Orlando for you. I'll let you know.
At least you didn't mention Jeter, and I appreciate when you do Jupiter. And you wanted to.
We're over that.
Yeah,
that was big on the first day when we found out we were going to be on in Jupiter.
Yeah, well, it just opens up things from Key West to.
I can't stop seeing this Taylor Swift thing. By the way, it is all over Twitter. Number one trending topic in the country.
She's going on that podcast, which, by the way, without her does unbelievable.
Sure.
Can you imagine?
Oh.
Talk about record numbers.
Well, they don't know what she's going to announce on there. Like, she could announce something crazy. Who knows? She'd announced the new album already.
Whatever she does or says.
Are you excited for that new album coming?
No.
Let's just hope she takes a breather from touring.
So we have to buy tickets?
I don't want to go through that again. That was not fun.
Yeah, it's incredible. Whether you like her or not.
Never seen anything like that.
No, she, yeah, and she's dating a tight end that's not a bad player either. And they got that podcast. My God, they had to sell it right after they do this thing with the numbers.
This has got to be it for him, right? This has got to be the last go for him, I would think.
They seem to think, and there are people who think they're going to make it back. I'm with everybody else, though. I think this is the year that finally falls apart.
Okay.
No, I say fall apart. They don't make it to a Super Bowl.
You sound like Ben Volen talking about Brady or something.
I didn't mean fall apart, but this is the year they don't make it. Okay. Baltimore or Buffalo is going to get them this year.
Sure.
Denver might get them.
Denver, yeah. Sure. By the way, could you imagine how crushed CBS would be if that happened?
But he can't go back to another Super Bowl with her?
Just if they don't get him in the playoffs, late in the playoffs, with her in the stands.
Well, he can get late in the playoffs now. Let's not get carried away.
Oh, you think Denver's going to make a run? Is Denver like your dark horse team all of a sudden? This is new to me.
I think Denver's got a pretty good team.
Okay.
It's not the team that we put 70 on.
It is not. Their quarterback situation's interesting. We were looking at all the quarterbacks numbers during the break. He had a good year.
Bo Nix?
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix might be, yeah.
You got to see it a little longer, man.
No, I know.
You're
right. And especially with Bo Nix. I agree.
Yep.
Everybody's going, okay, great number 1 year, but first year, let's see what you do in year 2.
Year 2's tough, man. Ask CJ Stroud.
He did not come back the same.
Nope.
He was still good, though.
Yeah,
that's not making it sound like he wasn't. Yeah. Still win that division. Whatever that's worth.
Winning a playoff game is worth a lot, Joe, yes. Or the division, any of that stuff.
We know.
Very, very nice.
We want it.
Slim Reaper just texted us. He said we're coming in loud and clear in Lake Worth.
What?
Cool.
104.3. Yeah. Yeah, man. If you get a chance with the kids or already dropped them off here, 104.3 FM, let us know.
You already dropped the kids. I'll drive up to Orlando and give Joe a scouting report.
Orlando? We're not in Orlando.
Do we go out west? We got to go west. Naples. That's where we got to go.
I don't know if we go. I don't know if we go Naples, Fort Myers. I don't know.
Naples?
I do like that. We like it a lot.
Big Naples fan.
We are too.
Yeah. Nice beaches over there.
We don't talk about going that way. We only talk about Key West to north of Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're a big Keys guy too.
I got to tell you, when she told me that, the GM, when Claudia told us, I didn't believe her.
Got to go on a business trip to Key West.
Yeah,
it's for work.
Go down and see it.
Yeah, I got to go down and scout out, see how we sound.
I go to Key West, man. It's something about being down there. I got to get liquored up.
Yeah,
it's just.
I think that's part of it. Yes.
And if you can throw in a wedding or something to go to, it just fits right in, right?
What do you hit? What are you, a Fat Tuesdays guy? Do you like those daiquiris, those slushy drinks?
Yeah,
good,
sometimes I do, but that's
what
I tell you what. The hangover sometimes is. Yeah. If I can just stick, I got to tell you something, folks.
Hydrate.
The scotch thing, and you got to drink water with the scotch too. I've learned, but scotch with the tequila.
I was going to say, when did you turn into a scotch guy? This is new.
Sorry, I don't know where the hell scotch came from. I have tried them all through the years, but
you just threw that at me.
The tequila, man, on a rocks.
Guy, yeah.
And if you just have a few of them, you're good the next day. I don't know why, but I start getting sweet drinks, and the next day, they don't like each other. Just not good. Not good at all. Hey, Woody, we've got a lot more stuff. We'll get into some more Dolphin stuff. We got more stuff to get to here this morning. And, of course, Kane's down there quietly getting to work, man, getting after it as you don't have to motivate those guys. Everybody believes and watching it. What do you believe this is a better overall team, right? Canes from what you've seen. Better overall team. I'm not saying.
I know you're not saying quarterback. Yes.
I'm not saying the best. No, I'm not saying number one offense. They're not going to be the number one offense in college football.
I think each year Mario's teams have gotten better. Yes.
But I love the secondary. Everybody asked me about secondary, and I said they run around and they were making plays everywhere, getting their hand on the ball, much better coverage. And again, the guys up front, I saw Jason Taylor talk to the media yesterday and did a breakdown of all his guys. They got a lot of guys with a lot of experience, man. It should be nice to watch. They like their defensive line. They like their offensive line. And I would just say this to the defense, the defensive line of Miami Hurricanes. You're going against maybe the best offensive line you're going to face all season. Gators got a pretty good offensive line too. They like their guys, but it's hard to imagine anybody's going to be better than what they're going to face in week 1. We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
104.3 FM.
former first-round pick is going to end up getting that job, but you're going to win that game no matter what. And we still got a lot of time and still putting this 53 together. And it starts. This is a big week, especially for a lot of young guys. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to do a lot of stuff on some of the guys, some of the interesting battles that are going on the team, and some guys that it's going to be real close, especially on the defensive line, linebacker, inside and outside linebacker. And so we'll talk about some of that. A lot of people think they have all their offensive linemen here right now. I don't think so. I think there's another guy on the way when all the final cuts are made, or there could be a little trade made in there. I still think one of those could be done. So yeah, those would be, and the receiver position. The receiver position, not obviously the top spots. I think those are pretty much set. But and then you got to have a couple of guys that can help you on offense and defense, but their number one thing needs to be making plays. I got to tell you, and it's not a big deal to most of you, but I have been all over this, and I think the guy is really good. I don't think he's one of your best pass rushers. I don't, in Cameron Good. But I think, boy, the play he made going down as a flyer on the kickoff was one of the best plays I've seen in a long time. He's about 5 yards ahead of everybody. He's got a guy trying to block him and makes a tackle with nobody around him in the middle of the field. So the guy literally can run. He's got a guy blocking for him sideways, and he's trying to figure out which way to go. And this guy, and you talk about open field. I'm talking about the whole damn field. This guy, Cameron Good, makes this play. Just incredible. And I know we're just looking outside linebackers or pass rushers. It doesn't look good for his chances. Everybody's got the Grayson Murphy and Derek McClendon, and those are the next guys up, and they probably are. But I got to tell you, man, Cameron Good on special teams, you make plays like that, those guys are hard to find. So you're going to have a couple of guys that are going to do nothing. They can line up for you if you need that, but really their impact's going to be, there's going to be a lot more importance on guys that can return kicks and guys that can run down and tackle return kicks. More important than ever for field position. Never in the history of the game has it been more important. They have set these kicks up for guys to have long returns. I know I saw it firsthand, the field position the Dolphins got last week, and that, by the way, did a great job of covering going down at the other end. Got much better field position than the Bears on the kickoffs and kickoff returns. So that's going to be a lot more important and not sexy to talk about on the radio. No, not that we're going to sit around and talk about field position, but knowing that Darren Rizzi told us about a month ago, they're going to be about 70-75% returns. We're going to see returns every time. Those guys are going to try to kick it down right around the end zone, and they want you to come out and return it. We're going to have a lot more touchdowns, and I think it's going to be an exciting play. I don't know if it'll last past this year if guys start getting the crap knocked out of them again, though, because guys miss blocks. It might as well be the old days. If guys miss on their guy and they're coming down there, 2 or 3 guys at different angles, the kickoff return man is going to get the crap knocked out of them. Just like before.
I don't think they care as much about player safety as they lead on to, Joe. Like,
you ain't buying it?
No, I'm not. Are you?
Only thing I'm buying is the amount of money they're paying to guys that have had brain damage later on in life.
But they're making a whole lot more money right now with an entertaining product.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
it's important to them to have these plays be entertaining.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts.
We'll see. No, we'll definitely see on that whole thing. Hey, so anyway, on top of all that news, and we've been talking a little bit about the Miami Hurricanes football team, and they're 10th in both polls. Hey, listen, if you're top 10, it means nothing because you got to go out and play, right? It's how you end, not how you start.
Well, it means something.
Well, it means
you're doing a good job getting a roster together.
Well, let me tell you how you get to be 10 off last year, because you lose Cam Moore and you lose all your receivers. Mm-hmm. You go out and get Carson Beck. No matter what you think, he's still going to be one of the better quarterbacks in football. That's number one. Number 2, you hit that transfer portal plus your recruiting classes you've had and the guys that are coming back at different positions and what you've done with it. And people go, they should be the second best team behind Clemson. And if you are, and you win enough games, you should get one of those 12 spots. You should. But there's a problem. You got SMU, who's expected to be really good, and you just can't fumble the ball on Georgia Tech and Syracuse and some of those teams. All right, we got a lot more stuff to get with the Miami Dolphins. Kyle Krabs is going to join us. We're going to break it down on both sides of the football from game 1 right after this.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Loctite Impact, South Florida's top-rated impact windows, doors, and roofing provider with thousands of 5-star reviews.